Hi everyone, coming to you from Rancho Mirage, California today. I'm here about to do a final walkthrough with some buyers who are purchasing a property here, and I have one buyer closing this week and one seller closing this week, and they've had similar questions. So I thought I'd kind of go through the closing process and give you some fun facts of what happens in California real estate and how that might be different than where you are and where you live, so that you know what's going to happen if you come and buy a property here in Rancho Mirage, California, La Quinta, California, anywhere in California. So the closing process, contingencies are removed, everyone's excited, yay! Buyer's happy, they're getting the home, seller's happy, they're moving. And then we need to do our walkthrough. So that's what we're doing today. So the walkthrough is for the buyer, and it's the buyer's opportunity to just confirm that the property is in the same condition as when they purchased the home, and that any repairs that had been requested are done. The seller, it's their time frame to give receipts for the repairs and let everyone know this is what was done and by who, and that helps when their liability moving forward. So the buyer can then contact those contractors if there's any issues, which hopefully there isn't. Second part of that is loan docs, money, show me the money. So if the buyer is a loan, then loan docs have to be issued, and loan docs are a tricky business because most of our buyers are not local. So we do need some time before closing. We don't go sit around a closing table and everybody sign at the time. So loan docs get sent to the buyer, buyer signs with a notary, sends it back to escrow, and then escrow sends to the lender to fund and close. So there's a 2 to 3 day window there, and you can see how, if time is tight, what could happen, or something could happen. Hopefully not in this case. We already have loan docs signed and back. If it's a cash buyer, then they just need to wire their funds to escrow, and that happens usually 2 to 3 days before close. Escrow likes it 3 days. Sellers like it 3 days, but up until the last day, the funds can come in. Then the loan needs to fund. So the loan funds on the last day and the morning typically, and there's funding conditions which hopefully have already been seen and can be met. And then when all those funds get to title, escrow then releases all the paperwork and title goes and records it. So in California, in Riverside County, we can electronically submit, or if you have a title officer that'll walk it in, they can walk it into the county recorder's office. If it's electronically submitted, we typically get notification of recording somewhere between 2 and 6 p.m. There is no specific time frame. It could be 10 a.m., just depends on how quick and how busy they are. If they walk it in, then we get notification of recording at the time that it gets walked in and accepted. So yay, everything's done, we're closed, right? Buyer says, give me the keys. Seller says, give me the money. So buyer gets keys in possession, hopefully, unless that was negotiated in the contract differently. Seller moves out. So in California, a seller doesn't typically get funds on the day of close of escrow, which I've had a couple of interesting scenarios lately in stories. I've had one seller who said, I'm not moving out till I get my check. And I said, well, I already told you, and I tried to tell you in advance, if you needed the funds to move, we need to make sure that you have an extra day of possession, which we would negotiate in the initial contract. So these are all conversations you got to have up front with an experienced realtor and knows what they're doing. So turns out that seller was just anxious and needed some more time to move. We got it done, no big deal. But all these are conversations to be had. Seller will get, escrow will record, title will pay off any liens, and then escrow will, the next business day, go through the file and confirm everything's been paid and then distribute the funds. So realtors don't get paid till then either. I always get that question. Or our brokerages don't get paid until then. So seller doesn't get paid and broker doesn't get paid until all funds are distributed. So good news, not one before the other. But that's our closing process. You don't have to be here in person. Everything can be done wherever you are. And it pays to work with someone who's experienced and been around. So look forward to hearing from you. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. Have a great day.